Chairman, let me concentrate on fentanyl. Um, when you look at the precursors that come in from China to Mexico, you will see that they usually go to two ports, go through the Pacific, end up in Manzanillo and Lázaro Cárdenas. And then, of course, then the drug organizations will send them off to different locations in Mexico, store them, change them into fentanyl. And then from there, they'll go, and if you look at what makes sense, what's closest, they will go through the areas of California, San Diego, and Arizona, a percentage, and there's a percentage, but so if we know that most drugs are coming in through ports of entry, one of the things that concerns me is the major acquisition programs, how long it takes. It moves too slowly. It avoids competition. It avoids opportunities for innovation. And one of the things that we want to work with you is how do we speed up that acquisition while we still protect taxpayers' dollars? If we know what the problem is and how they're going in, I would ask you to work with us on that part. And then what you're all doing with the Mexican government, because for the first time, the president said, I will officially ask China to stop sending precursors to Mexico. And then after that, I also read that you all are working with them on, I don't know which department, working an agreement. And what they want is we'll help you with precursors, but we want you to stop sending guns because Texas is the number one source of guns for them. So I want to see what are we doing to address the issue on procurement to get the technology. And keep in mind, Mr. Secretary, for the first time they bought almost $800 million, and it's the same technology that U.S. Customs is using over here. So that's encouraging for us. So if you can address those issues.
Thank you very much, Ranking Member Cuellar. We're taking a multi-pronged approach to our attack against the cartels that traffic in fentanyl. And I must say, as Congressman Guest knows, we share a past as prosecutors. I served for 12 years as a federal prosecutor. I have prosecuted cocaine trafficking cases, methamphetamine trafficking cases, black tar heroin trafficking cases, and we have seen nothing like the toxicity of fentanyl that is killing so many Americans, and this is a problem that has been around for too many years. We are taking it to the cartels in unprecedented ways, and we are working with the government of Mexico in that regard. I have visited with our Mexican counterparts as well. We are assisting them in securing their ports because, indeed, many of the precursor chemicals and the equipment used to manufacture fentanyl is coming from China, reaching the Mexican ports, and the traffickers, the cartels, try to bring it through the ports of entry.
And if I can interrupt, and members, if we look at the Chinese investment that we have in Mexico, and we got to be aware that's a different issue, but they're very smart. They will do it in the ports. So they're there at the ports. They get the legal and the illegal products going through there.
And we are very focused on that element as well. So with respect to your question about procurement, we have a procurement innovation lab to address precisely the concern that you articulate, which is to be able to harness technology, to harness innovation quickly. We need to be able to move quickly. The procurement process is far too slow. With respect to the ports of entry, we are surging our personnel to the ports of entry to increase our interdiction and investigative capabilities. The remarkable special agents of Homeland Security investigations have already begun that effort. Operation Blue Lotus, I announced last week, in its first week of operation, it is already making a significant difference.
And that technology, Mr. Secretary, is very important because if you want to bring marijuana, you can see a big old piles. And I've seen some of the technology you have in Laredo and other places. But now you're talking about pills, and it's smaller. And if you don't have the trained officers, you won't see those. You can't see them unless if you have the trained eyes. So it takes personnel takes canines and takes the latest technology, and the Mexicans doing that. So, Secretary, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Cuellar. Now recognize Chairwoman Granger for any questions she may have.